Good morning, everybody. My name is Dan Lejerskar, and I'm the chairman of EON Reality. I'm very pleased to have this webinar with you today, and we're going to discuss how to help your students to learn better through augmented and virtual reality. Quick background about myself. I'm an engineer. I have a master in computer science, mechanical engineering, and I've been working with virtual reality and augmented reality as well as simulators for the last 36 years. And I'm very passionate about knowledge and knowledge transfer. And it's going to be interesting to have this presentation for you today and hopefully to get some good questions. But before we start, let me give you a quick introduction. Over the last 5 years, I've been traveling around the world to more than 80 countries and met with hundreds of academic institutions and vice chancellor and rectors. And the big question that I would say everybody has in learning today is how to make learning experience more fun, enticing, captivating, something that a student really wants to absorb. Most of us will agree that perhaps the best way to teach would be to make learning interactive, exploratory environments where both teachers and students jointly can immerse themselves. The reality is that today, unfortunately, students are quite disappointed. Most academic institutions do not provide such an environment. Colleges are very expensive and provide sometimes, I would say, a retrograde learning experience, which makes students question why they go there. As a consequence, I believe change is inevitable. Virtual reality and augmented reality are today competing with standards way of teaching, and I see the reality. They will become standard within the next 5 years. And the reason is quite simple. Students learn faster, remember longer, make better decisions with virtual reality, augmented reality together, and this is important, together with a good educator. But there's other things that we'll talk about in this webinar. One of them is the fact that in addition, virtual reality and augmented reality is also unique with regards to providing a superior credential and assessment process. This is why academic institutions that have already adopted augmented virtual reality in assessment and credentials outcompete traditional institutions that do not have it. In a virtual reality environment, like in a simulator, I used to work with simulators for many, many years, we can measure every step you make, every move you make, and generate extremely high fidelity assessment and credential, which provides much better prediction of students' performance skills for the future jobs. This is the same way that a flight simulator predicts much better the pilot's performance in an event of an, let's say, emergency landing on water versus a paper-based exam. Consequently, augmented virtual reality strengthens the core function of an academic institution, which is to educate, but also to generate quality credentials. Unfortunately, many academic institutions today are a little bit like, I would say, NBC 1975. While this big tsunami of AR/VR-based Netflix for education is coming fast and is incredibly disruptive. Academic institutions that do not adopt it now will be swept away. The good news is that great academics are open-minded and are willing to embrace this change. Ultimately, academics are educators, whatever technology is used. They recognize that the landscape has changed and there is a new way to more efficient transfer knowledge. Now, great educators, sometimes I've heard someone saying, are like regular people, but with curiosity turned to 11. And they are willing to embrace AVR, augmented virtual reality, because as soon as they see that this helps them to better transfer knowledge. And during today's webinar, I will actually tangibly demonstrate how that works. And by the end of this webinar, you'll be able to do it yourself. So let's go for it. Thank you.